So the NFL draft was a while ago. The NHL draft is here as we are on to the final moments before the names are called out here over the next few days. And for the Calgary Flames, this is probably not where a lot of people expected the Flames to be drafting at the beginning of the season, as they will select 18th. It would have been 16th, but the whole thing with Montreal and all of that, but they still end up with the 18th overall pick. And so a couple of options here for the Flames. Obviously, the organizational need is number one, center, and at 18, that is simply not an option for this team, unless someone falls drastically, and then you have to wonder about that anyway. And so for me, the two that I am really kind of hoping for from a Flames standpoint would be Reschny and Kindel. Both of them not the biggest dudes, but from everything you hear, like elite level character, elite level work ethic that allowed them to produce at the WHL level. And so it does not fill a need for this organization, I don't think. But still, I do think while there are some forwards that I am interested in the organization, most of the strength of this prospect pool is on the blue line, and a bit of that could be coming up to the NHL roster this year. I think that Reschny and Kindel both just add a little bit more forward depth to this prospect pool. And whether that means that someone is available in a trade or it is just adding more players into this organization, I like that. Obviously, you do get a little worried about slightly undersized, but worked really hard and produced in junior. Because at some point, like, okay, that works in junior when it's against other junior guys, but now it's against grown men. How is that really going to work here for this team? And I do have a slight concern with that, but I do think that both Reschny and Kindel are the type of players that kind of recognize their potential size to fit, and they're not 5'3", right? Like they're 5'11" coming in here. If it was 6 feet, we probably wouldn't be talking about it. But they're both just on the inner side of that, and so I think. A, they're not as small as you might think. But B, you do have, again, that work ethic and the understanding of, okay, where am I going to need to improve to really fit in here? And I think they've been doing that for a while in their lives. And so I think that they will be fine in those. Are they potential game changers? I don't think so. Their middle six forwards would be my initial slightly educated opinion on these particular players. But I do think that it is adding more talent to a talent pool that a couple of years ago was pretty dry. But it does feel like a lot is in play for the Flames here. Obviously, the Rasmus Andersson trade chip is a very interesting one. And I think there will be a lot of panic in Calgary if that one isn't played by draft week. Because there is kind of a want to get as much high-end talent in here as you can. I do think that if you are adding picks for next year, it ain't the worst thing either. Like that seems like it is shaping up to be a very good draft in the NHL. So if you are adding to that, then oh well. So I don't think it is a must to trade him this time, but it does seem like there are a few options up ahead, depending on how aggressive the Flames want to get and the desire of different players to maybe want to go to those spots as well. So I could see the Flames having a very busy blockbuster type of day, or a day that in the end they are just drafting 18 and 32, and then we are talking about those picks after and looking at different future moves. And honestly, I would kind of lean to more the other one. Like, it would be exciting if the Flames make a gigantic trade and move up to 4, or 3 even, or something along those lines. But I think the more likely scenario is probably this team sticks and picks 18-32, and maybe there's a move that you can make with both of those to go up a few spots to get someone. But I think that you can still get a very solid player in this draft at 18 that is going to help your organization out. So I would caution against waiting for the big blockbuster type of a weekend for the Flames. I think those moves are coming, but I don't know if it is going to be in the next few days.